Hello, beloved. I want to thank you so much for coming back to my channel today. If today is your first time, I do want to welcome you. On today's episode, we will be taking it step by step as usual. I hope that you will enjoy the making today. May God richly bless you, and remember that life without Jesus Christ is lifeless. Until next time, please keep watching. Hello, loves. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. On today's episode, I'm showing you how to make this delicious, amazing chicken tomato stew recipe. This recipe is so simple to make with simple ingredients. It actually pairs up very well with most dishes. For example, plain boiled rice, potatoes, yams, jollof rice. The possibilities are endless. Also, please do not forget to subscribe, to like, to share, and also to comment if you should have any. Without further ado, let's get started and remain blessed. Thanks for coming by. The first thing we want to do is to cook our seasoned chicken. And here, as you can see, the chicken has been cooked and the broth has been strained. And as you can see in the video, I have set it aside. Also, here are the remaining ingredients you need. I'll be sure to list everything in the description box for you. I like to think that most of these ingredients are probably in your pantry or refrigerator. So moving on, what I'll be doing is to go ahead and fry my chicken. And the purpose of doing this is to extract the flavor and the seasoning from the cooked chicken. I want to make sure that the oil is flavored with all the goodness in the chicken. So go ahead and place your chicken inside the oil. I'm going to fry it for about a good 6 minutes, making sure that all the sides are brownish and fried very nicely. So frying the chicken, if you realize that one side is fried, make sure that you alternate it from side to side, okay, as you can see in the video. So after about a good 6 minutes, our chicken is fried and I'm just removing them from the oil. Look inside the oil, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. And typically I like to use shallow frying for this process. So by using this process, I can use the same oil to make the stew. So as you can see in the oil, all the flavors are there. Here's the beautiful fried chicken set aside. Now I'm moving on to cook the tomato paste. And I'll be cooking this tomato paste for about 10 minutes. Tomato paste are typically sweet, so when you cook them, allow them to cook all the way. Otherwise, when the stew is ready and it's not cooked all the way, it will taste sweet, which you don't want that. Here are my fresh blended ingredients. I'm including that, and I'm also going to cook that for about a good 5 minutes with the tomato paste. One secret about making a delicious stew is that you want to include as many fresh ingredients as possible. That is where all the flavor is. So after about 5 to 10 minutes, I'm adding my diced fresh tomatoes. And here I'm going to stir that in and allow that to cook with the fresh tomato sauces. Again, for additional maybe 5 minutes. Now I'm adding my fresh cilantro and sage and my seasoning stocks. I'm going to allow that to cook with the tomato sauces. And this gives it more flavor. We just want to make sure that this chicken stew is packed with flavor and is delicious, okay? So now let's have it cook for about 5 minutes and we'll come back and check up on it. Now I'm ready to add my fresh sliced onions. My purpose for adding the onions later on in my recipe is because I want these onions to cook, but I don't want it to get soggy. I rather wanted it to be translucent and still be able to bite into it when I'm eating my stew. So that is the reason. If you don't want it this route, you can always fry your onions before you start adding the tomato sauces and the additional ingredients. Now I'm adding my curry powder and my ground turmeric for flavor and color and aroma as well. So make sure that you give that a stir and have it incorporate with the stew, okay? So at this point, if you hear your neighbors banging at your door, don't worry, it's the stew that invited them over. They can smell it all the way from wherever they are. Alright, so now I'm adding my chicken broth. And this broth additionally add more flavor to the chicken stew, Go ahead and give it a stir and have it incorporate with the stew. Now, before you add any salt to this dish, make sure that you taste it because sometimes the broth can be a bit salty. So I just added a little bit of salt to my stew, about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just giving it a stir, making sure that everything is cooking well. Our stew is almost ready. The last thing I'll be adding is my fried chicken, okay? So adding this chicken, I'm going to have it absorb the stew and the flavors from the tomato sauces. Once again, I want to thank you all so much for coming by. Like I said, please do not forget to click on the red button to subscribe to my channel and share this recipe. I'll see you in my next video. Our stew is ready, as you can see. Doesn't it look beautiful? May God richly bless you. Thanks so much for coming by. Until next time, bye for now.